Good evening, guys, and happy Wednesday to all of your sunshiny faces. Guys, I should have a Meijer haul for you guys tomorrow, so I think that there's no reason that I need to go to Meijer tomorrow, because we used to be going on Saturdays to Meijer, but I think I told you guys that last week we ended up switching it because the other Thursday stores that we normally go to, Valley Produce and Caputo's Valley Produce, though, had a 3-day sale that ran Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, so we had to go on Saturday because we couldn't go on Friday because of the football game. So I ended up switching those two, those stores, I guess, normally the stores we go to on Thursday, onto Saturday, and Saturday to Thursday. And the week before that was because I told you guys I forgot to use that like $5 coupon that I had for like the Catalina coupon, which expired in 2 weeks, and I forgot to use it the 1 week, and then the following week I realized that I had went 2 weeks ago on Friday, and so because of that, it was on a Friday that was one of Jack's football games. I actually think that might have been the first football, or no, I think it was the second football game. So we weren't able to go to it on Friday, so that's why we flipped those stores. But my dad even said too, it just seems like Meijer's works out better if we go on Thursday to Meijer and then go to the other two stores on Saturday. And so I was like, it does sort of seem like it does work out better. And like honestly too, a lot of the times there's hardly anybody, it seems like, in Meijer on a Thursday night, whereas when we go on Saturday, especially lately because we haven't been able to go early on Saturday because they still have, like, my dad and Jack still have practice, like they have film, and then like sometimes they'll do weightlifting or they'll be doing other stuff, whatever, but because of that we can't normally go first thing in the morning, and then by like midday it's normally pretty busy. So but funny enough, Valley Produce and Caputo's normally are not, and even to last week, I think it was at Caputo's, they had so many lanes open and there was like almost nobody in the like checkout lanes. They had like probably like, I don't know, 8+ lanes open, and there was like one person in like most of them, and there was a couple where nobody was even doing anything. I was like, I think they like overbooked like the cashiers for like on Saturday. But it also could have been too that we sort of went in an off hour or something like that, but it honestly has not been very busy when we've been going on Saturday to either of those two stores either. So anyways, like I said, we're just gonna start doing that from now on and do Meijer on Thursday, and then do Valley Produce Caputo's on Saturday morning. So I don't know if we're gonna stick with that when, like still after football season is over or not, but it might work out just a little bit better because I think I was telling you guys too, like Meijer sales run Sunday until Saturday. So if there's for some reason something crazy comes up on Saturday and we can't go to the stores, like all of a sudden, Jack's, told us about something that he has, like a school thing or something, whatever, and somebody, has to either take him to that, or, he has, we have to go to it or whatever, and we're like, oh no, now we can't go to the grocery store on Saturday, and, he told us about it on Friday night, so we couldn't plan ahead of time or whatever it is. And then, again, Saturday, maybe most of our days taken up, or like two, if my dad has to work sometimes on the weekends. Or two, if we have a family party going on or like whatever, and we can't go early in the morning or later in the afternoon or whatever it is, then I miss Saturday, and then we can't go to Meijer at all that week. It does sort of stink that, like, we, might lose, being able to go to Meijer on a day like that if something came up. But if we move it to Thursday, we always still have like a backup plan of like, okay, well, we can still go to on Saturday if something comes up on Thursday. And then two, Valley Produce and Caputo's sales, they don't end until Tuesday. So like even if worst came to worst, like we might still be able to go like after, like my dad gets home or football practice or whatever on a Monday even, if something was really busy over the weekend. But with Meijer, we cut it really close. Like we only just go on the very last day of the sale. So like I said, that works out just, I think, a little bit better too. And also because of that, I can actually start making my grocery list like on, I think they have their sales papers, like the preview week. You can see it on the app like on, I think, by Friday, honestly. So I can start making my grocery list early in the week, and like I'd be making it on Friday when we hadn't even gone to the store sometimes yet, or Saturday or whatever, and I was like, I haven't even done this week's sales, and yet I can already like see the preview, so for next week. So that's why I can still do my list and get it done earlier. Either way, like I said, I think we're switching that sort of permanently. But I did wind up finishing all of my grocery list. I think I have everything. I don't know know if we're gonna go to Walgreens or not. I'm not entirely sure. I think I did sort of find one deal, but I don't know. I don't really think that I'm gonna go and do it either. Honestly though, I do need to use up some of my Walgreens cash that I do have, because I think I was telling you guys, I think it expires within 1 year. So like if I don't wind up using all of it up, then I have to, which I think honestly I really started earning it sort of more in the spring or like the beginning of the year. So like again, if worst comes to worst, at least I still have at least a couple more months to try and use up all of that. But like they have not had really good deals at all at Walgreens. Plus on top of that too, like those problems and glitches with those coupons and stuff like that I was having. Like also too, I'm like, I don't want to risk, you know, like planning out something to do and them not, you know, wind up, you know, coupons doesn't come off, or I don't wind up getting like rewards back or whatever. So I'm sort of like, you know, avoiding Walgreens just a little bit. But it's on top of that too, I rather just use up my rewards that I have earned, you know, so that again, they don't expire. But anyways, yeah guys, like I said, I'm not totally sure about that, but I think I finished, like I said, I don't know why I'm still like, I didn't finish that for that grocery store or whatever, but no, I think I did finish everything. The only thing I didn't do is I have to clip my coupons for Valley Produce, because they do have a couple digital coupons, and I just made my list based on what it said in the ad and not actually checked the app to make sure it was there, so I still have to do that. But I was actually up somewhat earlier today, which is kind of cool. I didn't wake up actually very early, but it was still kind of earlier for me. And then on top of that too guys, we also went out to the garden, picked a boatload of tomatoes. I didn't realize, because I can still see out into the like into the garden bed from out the kitchen window, and I'm like, it looks like there's a little cluster, like, you know, some red ones, probably go out there and pick them. I don't even think I got all of them, because there were still way more out there. But we did wind up getting some really big tomatoes. There was, like I said, a huge variety. Plus I also picked one of my summer squash, or no, not summer squash, the spaghetti squash. I did pick a summer squash, and also I think I got 2 zucchini as well. So there's still, and maybe a couple green beans. There's still a ton more stuff that's out there, but for one, stuff has started growing into the pathway that is making it hard for me to walk through the garden right now. So we're gonna have to try and like pick up some of the vines that have started into the garden bed and try and move them back into the actual vegetable garden bed. It is getting a little tough to walk through there right now. So like I said, I actually have a little baby acorn squash, which is so stinking cute. It's like that big, like out there. So I'm hoping within like a couple weeks I'll actually be ready to pick. But that was one of those ones that I got in really late, because I think we got the bed in so late, and then on top of that, I actually think the acorn squash was what I started from seed, and the fact that I even have one little tiny one, I'm like, wow, that's awesome. And then I think I did the spaghetti squash. I ended up planting that from a little plant, but I did that, like I said, it was pretty late. I want to say honestly we did it by like late June or July or something like that. So like I said, it's the fact that it's, you know, mid-September, we actually were able to harvest some stuff off of that already, I think is really awesome. So I also too guys, I was burning a candle today, because I have a little candle that I got, still sort of warm, from the Dollar Tree, and I was like, there's just this little bit, okay, there's a little bit more wax probably in here when I started burning it earlier today, but there's just like a little bit left in here, and I'm like, I can't throw it out until it's completely used up. I mean, it wasn't a huge candle anyway, and honestly didn't even really smell that strong either, but me over here, I'm like, I can't throw it away until I'm done with it. Like, it has to be completely used up in order for me to call it quits on the candle. And I've got an entire cabinet in my room filled with candles, but like I said, I can't just call it quits on the candle until it's completely used up. So I was like, gosh darn it, while I am sitting here editing, which I got to today, I'm just gonna burn a candle. So luckily, hopefully maybe another day I'll get this all used up. That'd be really nice. But I did wind up editing today. I also did laundry, and we also tidied up the kitchen, which has been one of the huge things for me right now, that like there's just seems like there's clutter, like I don't know, all over the place. And like on top of that too, it's like I feel like I just can't like get, I don't know, like there's just things on the table. And then on top of that too, I have zucchini that's just like sitting out. I had a bunch of produce too that was sitting out that I needed to cut up. Like I had like the oranges I needed to cut up, but then I was like, but there's not enough room in the fridge for me to put a Tupperware full of oranges in there right now if I cut them up, because honestly when I cut them up, Jack will eat them within a day or two. Like they'll be gone, so I don't really have to worry about that. But it's just the fact that he won't go after them, and he won't cut them up himself, and he also doesn't like to peel the oranges. My mom doesn't like to either, so like if I cut them up into like 6ths or 8ths or something like that, it's hard to say, 6ths or 8ths. But if I do that, then they wind up actually like they'll go after them and eat them. But if not, they normally wind up sitting around. So like I had that sitting there. I have got like, you know, I had the cantaloupe too that was sitting there, and I was like, I just need to cut this stuff up and get it in the fridge. So I had to go through the fridge and find out stuff that I was like, okay, this was old like leftovers or you know, like whatever. Go through some of the stuff in there so that I could have room to put some of the stuff that was in the refrigerator, because I found I don't know what it was, leftovers from, honestly it was probably 2 weeks ago, shoved in the back of the refrigerator, and I was like, why is this here? Like, and it didn't ever end up getting either finished or else, you know, like thrown away. And so I was like, and there was like one little like slice of like, I think it was a pot pie or something like that, one little slice that was left, but I had it in this, still in the big like pie tin, so it was taking up a ton of space. And I was like, well, there's all my space in the fridge that I needed to fit these Tupperwares in there. So we got that thankfully sort of all taken care of. And like I said, things generally sort of a little bit better so that I can make some more zucchini bread, because my dad was actually he is trying to give away zucchini bread at work too, and he said that he has got a couple people, like, you know, that he's convinced to let him give them zucchini bread, because I think he keeps telling them like, we have zucchini coming out of our ears, and like most people don't really know what to do with just the zucchini. And on top of that too, because they're so big, you can't really even just like eat the zucchini like as is, because it normally has the giant seeds in it, and it's normally a little tougher. The smaller zucchini are the ones that are really good for like just eating raw, because they're a lot more tender. The bigger ones, really the only thing that you can do with them is like shred them, and you know, like that kind of stuff is what, again, they're probably best for. So like I said, we have all of those. So even if we were like, oh, let's just give some zucchini away, like nobody really knows what to do with them. And again, you don't have quite as many options versus if you're just giving away small little zucchini. And so like I said, you know, like my dad was trying to figure out like, you know, how many people he could get at work to give away zucchini bread for, because again, I don't mind making zucchini bread. I will make batches and batches of it and use up our zucchini. And like I said, it's more of a like here's something that you can have right now, instead of giving you something and making you work for it, like giving some of your zucchini and be like, here, now make your own zucchini bread. I don't mind. I have the ingredients for all that stuff. I actually, after this week too, we'll have eggs coming out of my ears, because there's a bunch more deals on, great deals on eggs that I was like, I can't pass up. So we're going to be doing like egg bakes this week. We're going to be doing zucchini bread. I'm going to be finding all the ways to use the eggs, and on top of that too, zucchini right now. I'm going to try maybe with another zucchini risotto, but that's why I just, like, the kitchen was just in a lot of disarray. I needed to wrangle it in a little bit, and so everybody sort of, we all pitched in together and got that done for the most part today. And like I said, now the kitchen feels ready to go and whip up some zucchini bread, some like an egg bake too, because I can do an egg bake, and then like my dad and Jack can take them for like breakfast in the morning too, like especially on like a Saturday before they have to go to, like, you know, because Friday nights they are all tired, they stayed out late at the football game, Jack's exhausted because he played football, and then on Saturday mornings they'll have to get up again at the crack of dawn and go to, you know, like the weightlifting film and, you know, coaches meetings, stuff like that. And so, you know, again, they're, you know, exhausted, but you know, they normally don't have time for breakfast in the morning. So I was like, I can just whip up some of that like maybe tomorrow, and like then they could take it like before work on like Saturday, or I'm sorry, on Friday, like work and school, and then again on what's it called, on Saturday, and then they can have it too anytime like on Sunday, and then possibly even Monday, depends on how long it lasts. But I was thinking of doing that for dinner, and then I was like, I don't know, maybe I don't want to, I don't know. got so much stuff too that I'm like, I don't have room in the freezer. I need to make room in the freezer, so I need to try and make sure that I'm using up stuff that's in the freezer, but at the same time too, I'm like, oh, but yeah, we have zucchini sitting out. It's like on the counter. I should make zucchini, you know, like risotto, or, you know, again, something else that involves zucchini. And then I'm like, okay, I'll do that, but that's not using up anything in the freezer that I have no room for. So I was like, okay, we'll do shrimp scampi because I got a bunch of shrimp out in the freezer and we need to use that. And then too, maybe when I make, I'm gonna do hamburgers, which are also out in the freezer. When I do that this weekend, we can maybe do like shrimp skewers too, which would be really nice to use up some shrimp, because then I can probably use up a full 2 pounds of shrimp this weekend. Like I said, I'm hoping that we can figure out some ways to use up a good amount of stuff that we have this weekend too. And, you know, like I said, just, you know, zucchini bread, egg bakes, I'm making breakfast for people, making, you know, dinner for people, all that kind of stuff. But like I said, I needed the kitchen under control. And finally today, like I said, it was just like, I got everything sort of straightened out a little bit more, and you know, everything sort of taken care of a little better. So, you know, like straightened up at least. So anyways, guys, now that that's done, I feel a little bit more positive for going into tomorrow, being like, okay, I can maybe get some more of those kind of things done too. Anyways, I will see you guys all in tomorrow's vlog. If you guys did enjoy today's, make sure you guys give a big old thumbs up. If you guys are new, we'd love it if you'd subscribe, and I'll see all of your sunshiny faces tomorrow. So bye, guys.